come clean my house with me, aunque no se laven el jondillo bola de desquacerados, which translates to, even if your soul is not clean. Let's go with that. Let's pretend for a second that that's what it means. So yesterday I had a lot of people asking me, how did you learn English? Well, at the age of 9, my family and I moved to Edmonton, Alberta, and the school that I went to, nobody but me spoke Spanish. So it was, vale, a como Dios te dé a entender, mijita. However you can, just learn. So the first few months was a month of charades, because I had no idea how to communicate with people, and they didn't know how to communicate with me. So it was pretty tough. I remember the first, what was it? Probably at least 2-3 months just coming home and telling mom and dad, I want to go back to Nayarit. I no longer want to be here. I have no idea what these people are telling me or how to talk back. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why are we even here? Somebody that I'm very thankful for is Carolina. She was my best friend at the time, and this little 9-year-old kid was incredibly stubborn. Very stubborn. I would say even more than my mom, but that would be an exaggeration. Mom, if you're watching this, you already know, so don't be offended. But where was I? So Carolina, the reason she was this way was because of her mom, Doña Soledad, who to me was Mama Chole. This woman, she was like a second mom to me, because almost every day after school, I would come over to their house while my parents were still at work. So there was really a sisterhood there with Carolina, and there was like a brotherhood with the rest of her siblings. It was pretty cool. The thing here, though, was that Doña Soledad, whatever she said, ira, te doy un putazo si no lo, o sea, it went. And that's where Carolina got her stubbornness from. The reason I'm mentioning all this is because she would always correct me on the tiniest things. If I said, oh, I saw this movie, or I'm gonna see this movie, she just give me a look and say, na, ni vergas. It's watch. It's not see, it's watch. And to be fair, I was 9 and stupid, and responded with Carolina, all of our classmates talk this way. They're Canadian. English is their only language. You're telling me they're not speaking properly? You're telling me they're wrong? And she said, yes. So shut up and listen. Mira, me callé el hocico y hasta el momento, gracias a ella, hablo el inglés por la manera en que lo hablo. So I shut up, listened, and because of Carolina, that's why I speak English the way I do today. It is honestly in her honor that I always try to pronounce everything the best that I can. And I just thought of something, though. The first probably year or two, I would have to translate every single word. Right now, English and Spanish, they're in two separate parts of my brain. It's like they don't talk to each other, right? But back then, it could get a little confusing sometimes, because the sentence structure is not the same in English and Spanish. One of my simplest examples is the yellow rag, right? In English, you say whatever describes the object first, and then you say the object. But in Spanish, it would be el trapo amarillo. So if you try to say the rag yellow, that's like, chingo, what do you mean? Like, you know what the person is referring to, but it's not grammatically correct. So I would always have to think out every single thing. Okay, esta palabra es así en español y así en inglés, y ya agarraba, por un decir, las 6 palabras que ocupaba en español, las traducía y veía cómo ponerlas. So I would grab like the 6 words in Spanish and then think of them in English, and era un pinche pedo, no mames. But where was I? Did I just confuse myself going back and forth? me perdí. I got lost. But I'm mentioning all this because I know that a lot of people are just learning and that they need the encouragement. I got a text yesterday from, a DM in Instagram, and it was a guy who asked me for tips about how to learn Spanish. He's been learning for the past 5 months. And these are some tips I'm going to share with you guys too. Number one, and I may not say them in the same order that I put them on the message, but just be patient with yourself. You will not say everything perfectly, and that's okay. I had somebody nearly slap me every single day. Carolina would have slapped me. She never did. A lo mejor no sabe medir, por eso queda así de pendeja, pero quién sabe. Who knows? On a more serious note though, be patient with yourself. Just remember that when you were a kid and you didn't know how to talk, how did you learn? Practice. And then eventually by the time you were 6 years old, you kind of sounded okay. But even then, kids don't always sound great when they're talking. So if it takes you 5-6 years, just go with it. Number 2, practice. And don't be afraid about people making fun of you. 95% of those around you that speak the language that you're trying to learn will help you because they know how hard it is to manage 2 different languages, or maybe more. Who knows? You might be surrounded by people who speak multiple languages. And the other 5%, nada más son unos hijos de su pesquinera madre que no tienen nada más que hacer con su tiempo y que se van a burlar de ti. And the other 5%, just ignore them. Nothing that comes out of their mouth is worth hearing or listening to. So yes, practice, practice, practice. And if you want to get a proper pronunciation, you say, I'm just tired of my accent. Believe me, I understand you, but focus on learning. What matters is that you learn, and then you can start saying, oh, so this is how I'm supposed to say or pronounce this word. And always surround yourself with people who are kind and thoughtful and will help you through this process. Number 3, ask a lot of questions. Aunque parezcas pinche niño de 3 años que no se calla el hocico, que, ay, ¿cómo se llama el perro de la vecina? Pregunta. You ask, even if you sound like a little 3-year-old kid, like, oh, what's that? What's the neighbor's dog's name? You ask every silly little question because that is how you will learn. Okay? And number 4, I cannot stress this enough. Read. Read hasta que te canses a la verga, hasta que tus pinches pestañas están sudando until your eyelashes are sweating. That's how much you need to read. One of the first times that I met with my 4th grade teacher, it was 4 or 5 books lined up on her desk. And I don't remember what she said because I didn't understand anything in English at the time, but it was a reading assessment, and it was either levels kindergarten through 4th grade or kindergarten through 3rd grade, and we started with the highest level book. No entendí ni madre. We went back to it was like 3rd grade or 2nd or whatever. Well, long story short, we went back to the base, el nivel del piso de lectura, ground reading level. Yeah, and if there was like a -7 level, I would have been there too. And the only 3 things that I remember about that book, something about a nest, a bird, and a tree. And if I didn't cry in that classroom, I'm pretty sure I cried at home, because it's the feeling of not knowing, of knowing that you have to know, if that makes sense, that you have to understand what's going on around you in order to move forward. It's just like, hijo de su puta madre. And without the proper tools, so the things that really helped me, like I said, practice, read, be patient with yourself, ask a lot of questions, Every experience is different. In my case, nobody spoke Spanish at school. Carolina's mom, the reason we became so close to her was, one, she took care of me, like one of her own kids. And she's from Chile. So she spoke Spanish, but Carolina didn't. And so Doña Soledad, she had 8 children. 4 of them were already grown adults, and the other 4 were teenagers. And Carolina, who was el pilón, there was an age gap of 20 years between Carolina and the oldest. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Same thing with me and Bodoque though. So once school ended and I went to Carolina's house, it was Spanish with her mom, which it was very comforting for me. So having that sense of family outside of my family was incredibly helpful, and I just can't thank them enough. They're an amazing family. So just being patient with yourself. Practice asking the stupidest questions that you can, not that you can think of, just even if you feel like they're stupid questions, ask them. Do what you can with what you have and go forward. And don't be afraid of messing up. You'll be fine. Trust me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I didn't clean. Ni madre. No limpié nada. But yes, I will forever be grateful with that amazing family. So I hope you have a Carolina of your own. And if you don't find one, someone who will always be there chingándote la madre, hey, wey, ponte pilas, just telling you to be on it. So, thank you. Thank you. Me salió mi acento en español. Dame un segundillo. Hasta la próxima, motherfuckers.